Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the ABU group and our lunchtime learning session for this Friday. So I hope you're all really well. And I'm delighted to say that we have with us today the wonderful Madiha Mouchtak. So hi, Madiha.
Hi, Lucy. Thanks for the invite. Amazing.
No, it's great to have you here. So Madiha is going to talk about future-proofing your business. And just to introduce Madiha, she is an entrepreneur and an investor with 24 years of experience in transformation, transition, and scaling up of businesses. So Madiha, you are the founder of Answer Inside, which is a company that's passionate about supporting mission-led leaders to adapt and transform their businesses in times of pervasive change. And you facilitated over 35 transformations, transitions, and scale-ups globally, which is amazing, moving businesses from losses to double-digit profit and growth by using your personal holistic approach, which is fascinating, and I'm sure we all want to hear more about it. So Madiha, I know you've got slides to share with us, so please do go ahead. Oh, and I'd just like to say as well now, can you save your comments and questions to the end so we don't interrupt Madiha's flow? Lovely to see everyone who's here. Yes, so Madiha, over to you and future-proofing your business.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Lucy. Hi, welcome everybody. And thanks for the lovely introduction, Lucy. So I will skip also my introduction in this in my slide deck. So we will talk today about future-proofing your business and thriving during times of unprecedented change. And yeah, I think that everybody sees already what's happening in the world. And the question is, what is that's really happening? And on what should we focus and how to deal with it? So I'm going to try to cover that today in 30 minutes. So I will take you through a presentation. There will be a lot of slides, but it's mainly to take you through the journey and to have an overall view, because I think we need to oversee what's happening in order to take the right decisions. So let's go for it and start the session together. Good. So as Lucy also used in the introduction, today's business landscape is evolving at an unprecedented pace. And it's not surprising that many leaders are feeling uncertain about what lies ahead. However, with the right mindset and strategies in place, your business can not only weather the storm, but emerge even stronger. In this session, I will explore with you how to influence your outcomes in this new reality and make lasting impacts in the changing world as a person, but also as a business. So, as announced, we are going to discuss 3 things. Gain insights into the latest economic outlook and technology trends that are shaping the world today, uncover the growth opportunities to stay ahead of the curve, and learn how to ride the wave of change and future-proof your business. And also gain competitive advantage, because the competition is going to become really big. After the pandemic, the world has opened up, and you are no longer competing with the neighboring business, but you are competing with businesses from all over the world. Good. So my background has already been shared by Lucy. Thanks for that. Lovely introduction. I would just summarize it in my mission in life is empower leaders and help them accelerate their business growth. It's for me, a job. It's not a hobby. It's really a passion. It's something that I live for, and it's lovely to see how people come to life again and take the reins of their business and start making impact from a place of certainty. instead of fear. It gets me every time, and I fall even deeper in love with what I'm doing. Good. So before starting to get in the details, I want to start with an intention. Maybe it sounds woo-woo, but I think it's that's the thing that really changes how you deal with business and with what's happening. We will be talking about change. We will be talking about uncertainty, but also about opportunities. And the intention for me for this session would be, before diving into the details of the agenda, I invite you today to get out of the weeds and the news narrative that you are hearing every day. I invite you to keep the eagle eye and the helicopter view, to keep looking from a growth mindset, to look to opportunities and look for opportunities for growth, and to look for ways to transition and grow your business from a new view, a mission-led view, a heart-led perspective. I invite you not to let the narrative of crisis, recession, threats, scarcity impact you, but to step in with a new paradigm. You are limitless, you are powerful beyond compare, you are living in a world of plenty. We can create our own reality, and our best days are yet to come. As change makers, we have the ability to imagine a better world and bring it to life. We will be guided to the answers to lift up humanity, to our businesses, and help humanity prosper. So that's my intention for today, and I hope that it's coming across and that you feel that we are not a poor little me. Good. So going back now to turning around businesses, transitioning them and scaling them, I would want to share with you, after 26 years of experience in this field, that it is really simple. So I have been with businesses in 14 industries, more than 30 businesses. And what I learned is that the rules are the same. Business success means understanding the external events and trends, focusing on good leadership, on your mindset, and on purpose, because that's what drives you when things become difficult. What's also key for success is staying profitable and adjusting your business model and earning model fast. It is necessary to build your team, what we call your hero army, because that are the people who will fight with you for your business and for the prosperity and the existence of your business and the goals that you want to achieve. And it is key to leverage technology to create a business success. And it's becoming now more and more evident with everything that's happening with AI and ChatGPT that you're hearing. That are the small things. There is more coming. Without tech, businesses will not survive. So step in and take your share of this new world. And the economic outlook. Very interesting what's happening. And I think if you follow the news, you will see a very fragmented view every time you see a fire. So let me start by saying, I don't really like how this information is shared in the news. It's fragmented, it's based on fear, it's not supporting people to understand what is really happening. If you keep watching the news, you keep constantly being dragged from one storm to the other, and you stay clueless about what is really, really, really happening. This triggers fear and helplessness. There's an alternative. Take a step back, deplug from the TV, and piece the events together. And understand the trends, really understand them, and choose your course. So an invitation today, lead, stop being led. So now what's happening? So we talked about your filter now. the economy, the macro economy, because now when you see what's happening in my country, it's not enough. Things are happening now first in China, then they go into the US, and then next is Europe, then the UK, and sometimes it's the other way around, or something is tested in Africa and then being rolled out in Europe. So zoom out and look at what's happening. So from 2020, if you would list everything happening, we had the pandemic and lockdowns. They generated economic decline. The supply chains were broken. We had a great reset of industries that are radically changing, like airlines industry, for instance, agriculture, education. So there are more industries, and believe me, all the industries are being reset. There is a recession, an inflation, increase in interest rates. There are geopolitical unrest. So not only the war with Russia, but there is more. China, Iran, and China have decided to form a coalition, and that's scaring the US and scaring Europe. There are shifting policies everywhere. The green transition and agri farming, restructuring, and food shortages are starting to emerge. There is a 2030 Sustainable Development Goals agenda being rolled out, and it has impact on everything, everywhere, on all the policies in the different countries and basically globally. The digital transition with the fourth industrial revolution is being basically is taking shape, and AI is just a part of it. And there is an inclusion rollout, and to understand that, it's basically what we are seeing in the difference between the sexes, the rights. So that's becoming also a phenomenon that we need also to include in how we are leading our businesses. Are we working according to the policies or not? Because that will have also impacts. And then if you would look at the World Economic Outlook, it has been published in mid-April 2023, and it's led by the International Monetary Fund. So the International Monetary Fund analyzes all the trends in all the countries, looks at financial policies, and sees what does it mean globally for the countries working together, and what governments need to do. And if you look at these outlooks, you can start predicting what happened, what's going to happen, what are the main trends. So I will summarize those for you. So the outlook that's being communicated is that the outlook is still uncertain after 3 years of COVID. Ongoing effects of Russian invasion of Ukraine. The growth is slowing down in advanced economies, and it's falling below 1%. So this is really new. High inflation that will continue up to 2025. So that's 2 years ahead. And what is new? Because you'd say, yeah, this stuff we know. We are starting to see that the financial sector has turmoil. So we had, I think, so with Lucy, some exchange about that not long ago, about what's happening with the bank and that they needed to be bailed out, and would it impact consumers? Yes, no. So that's becoming a bigger thing worldwide. And there is also a global introduction of the central bank digital currencies. We call them CDBCs. News are not talking about them heavily, but there are 60 central banks are introducing this. In Africa, there has been already a test that they went completely from cash to CDBCs, and people were not able to use their cash because it became worthless. And the country was really becoming unstable. And a rollout of CDBCs is happening in the US. So I would say Google it and start to understand what's happening there. So you'd say, okay, these are the trends, but what is IMF asking countries to do? Because that will determine the policy. So if we understand what IMF recommends to governments to do, is that it's saying we will see a high level of debt post-pandemic. We know that because people, or there were lockdowns, and to keep the economies running, there were like debts starting in the countries to keep everything going. And now the debts need to be paid back as usual. The governments are also asked to tighten the monetary policy to tame inflation, meaning higher taxing, urged to be ready to respond to risks of, hey, financial instability, debt distress, intensification of Russian-Ukraine war, rising geopolitical fragmentation, meaning Russia, China, Iran are working together, and China is going heavy on Africa with collaborations that could impact heavily the collaboration with the US and Europe, which could impact again the prices. And then the climate change. There will be heavy investments going from the countries into climate change. And then they are asking also countries to start strengthening the safety nets for people at risk, meaning there need to be like a minimum income given to people who cannot work, because technology is going also to do something next to what's happening economically. You would start already seeing it with ChatGPT, deployment of ChatGPT, that a lot of businesses who do copy work have sacked 30% of their employees because they don't need them. ChatGPT is doing the work. So these are the main trends happening. Let's move now to the technology trends. The technology trends. If we look at technology, we can identify 7 core technologies. Let me show them. Hey, I think generally you would start seeing, hey, if we will zoom out, we will see these 7 technologies, and they are coming together and are starting already to reshape industries and the business landscape. And they will continue to do so in the coming months and years. I am an advisor with the Artificial Intelligence Forum, the Global Artificial Intelligence Forum, and I have been seeing already the investments going on since 2020 already or earlier, and they're intensifying. So businesses are building their solutions, and now the avalanche started. A lot of technologies coming to the surface. So what are the main technologies? So artificial intelligence, robotics, green technology, virtual reality and augmented reality, mobile and 5G, and computing power. Because we are going into the cloud, you are no longer limited to your processing power, and your mobile is becoming stronger. You are taking your mobile with you everywhere. So that's really, really changing what's possible. Good. So I would say make a note of these technologies and keep a watch on them. So if you Google this, you will see what's happening. Good. If I would look at the core technologies or core technology trends you should be aware of. So we talked artificial intelligence, cloud computing, blockchain, edge computing, extended reality. So extended reality is that you can have augmented reality and virtual reality glasses, and at the same time look at the world. So they are bringing the technologies together. Edge computing, extended reality, autonomous systems like autonomous cars. I just shared not so long ago a video of two old gentlemen who were invited in a car, and it was a self-driving car, and they were like scared. This is impossible. So it's happening already. It wouldn't take long before autonomous cars are already part of the basically the economy and of the view that we are seeing in the streets. Digital transformation, data analytics, edge AI, augmented reality, robotics, 3D printing, biotechnology, Internet of Things, with Internet of Things, you can identify where an object is, and he will tell you, I'm here. And with that, you can do amazing stuff. 5G networks, cybersecurity, digital twins, I love them, quantum computing, natural language processing, green technology, virtual reality, digital health, smart cities. This is like combining everything else and plotting it on cities, cyber physical systems, nanotechnology, and the metaverse. So I would say with these 26 things, if you would make new combinations, you create a new trend. And this is happening every day. And I would say it's an amazing time to be alive. But what you would need to know is that no industry will be left unchanged. Industries are transforming at high speed. If you combine this with the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030 rollouts, then you would need really to look at your business and earning model and need to understand how to change it. And what you'd see is that technology and mobile are opening the markets, making it very competitive, making your market very competitive. So I'm working with a client, and usually I would say, okay, I'll bring in people from my team to work together with me to support stuff. And he said, no, there are cheaper options. I have an account on Upwork and I can't find people everywhere. And he went with me yesterday through filters to find people. Hey, I need a lawyer. I can find him in Pakistan. I needed a copywriter. Well, I can find one in Africa. I know this is amazing. And it means a lot also for your competitive advantage as specialists, but also it offers opportunities on how to get cheaper labor for generating more margin for your business. So the world is open, and you need to see what this means for your business. Good. And then let's step into the growth opportunities. Because everything that looks, basically different, that means not something scary, but it means an opportunity. If you take the time to find it, it will be great. So let me tell you how to uncover the opportunities that are there. I would say first, stay centered. Stop the narrative of the news, because it scares the heck out of people. And when you're scared, you cannot take the right decisions. You are in limbic, you don't want to be there. So stay centered. Play the cards that you are dealt every day, better than anybody else, and win every time. And it's not, it's really possible, but it's a mindset. Good. So I would say let's redefine how we look at things. What I'm hearing from clients that I'm working with, from colleagues, is that, oh my God, the level of uncertainty is so big. You say, okay, let's just look at the opportunities that are there. I know that when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. So let's start with looking in what's in uncertainty. What I know in uncertainty is that entrepreneurs always win. They stay in their center, they know the trends, they move right, and they move fast, faster than corporates. What's in a recession? That's the best time to start a business. You don't have a legacy. When you're small, you're agile. Give people what they need and they will work with you. What's in a broken world? Change makers rock. Mission-led businesses move mountains. Just create a better world, and everybody will be working with you. What's in industries that are shaking? Opportunities, huge opportunities. SMEs innovate faster and cheaper and smarter. So build solutions for the future, market them online, and become the authority. If we look in tech advancements, I would say tech is your friend. Understand it, deploy it, become cheaper, faster, and smarter because of it, and you'll win. The next bit is that, yes, but there is something inside, and that's the fear. That's something that we are all confronted with every day when things look different than what we want. So I would say, build a mantra for yourself. I have one, I wrote it in a booklet, and I'm reading it every day so that I stay in my center. And it's what a great time to be alive. We can create our own reality. Fear out, love in, love all, serve all. I will start with a good intention and the road will unfold. There are endless possibilities and we are living in a world of plenty. And because nothing is certain, everything is possible. So this is the mindset part. And now let's get into the technicalities of the business, how to ride the waves of change. What I've learned in 24 years with different companies in 14 industries is that transition and scale up usually means 3 options. Not 10, it's just 3 options. It goes difficult. A business can either go bankrupt or survive. With everything that's happening, the chance is 50-50. A business could collapse or could survive it. When they survive, they need to transition. When you transition, you are going to survive and grow. If you are in a changing industry, heavily changing industry, but if you are in a tech industry or in a green industry or in education at this moment, and something that's really critical and important, you can scale up. You will be in a sweet spot, understand your market, fix your operations, validate your strategy, develop your team, and just fly, scale, accelerate. If you're in transition, you need to reset your strategy, your business model and earning model based on what's happening outside. And there are grants happening, for instance, in Europe and also in the UK. So look for them. There are possibilities for grants for transitioning and scaling your business, but also there are opportunities coming for reskilling and upskilling yourself and your employees. For instance, the Netherlands are giving €1,000 per year to every individual above 18 years old. That's really nice. So it's like free money for education. Find how to educate your employees and in what, and get them trained and start moving the needle. Good. So this is about the 3 options that are available. Another thing to remember, whether the market is difficult or not difficult, there is an entrepreneurial journey. And every entrepreneur goes through it. The entrepreneurial journey is you start as a scale up, you are not making money. Then you start scaling and the market gets you, you become happy, you start earning money and growing. If something happens in the market, you need to do a transition and turnaround. Difficult time, tough time, but if you manage it well, you survive. If you keep scaling and you do it really amazingly well, at a given moment you exit, you cash in, and you can start a new business. Good. During the entrepreneurial journey, you will always go through an emotional roller coaster. I'm working closely with clients as mentor and as basically their trust person. They can tell me everything. And I'm also a therapist. And what I see is that they lose the big clients, drama, they can't sleep for a week. And then just a week later, they close another deal. They're super happy. And then life is shining and great. And what happens is that there is a correlation. When you are not feeling good, you fail more. When you are feeling good and you're happy, you succeed. So the point is, whatever it's happening, learn to manage your roller coaster and keep in happy. Because when you choose to feel good, you always win. And that's something that needs really to be trained, and you can train it. Another thing that I want also to share is there is something that people are not talking about, but if you study the Bob Proctor, if you study really the people who wrote game-changing books, you will understand one thing. There is something that's called higher awareness. And when you start understanding it and using it, you start leading the field and creating ripple effects. No matter what's happening outside, you would see people complaining about, they don't have clients. And you say, oh, I don't recognize that. There is a recession. I just saw a new opportunity. So that's the game changer. It's you stay in coherence. Your heart and mind are in coherence. You have a purpose. You are going for making something better in the world beyond making money. And what you get is sustainable success and real happiness, and you create ripple effects around you. So I would say, look for that. You need it. What I learned during transition periods is that the successful leaders need confidence. They need to stay centered. They are highly ambitious. They have a growth mindset. They don't accept the status quo. And that's what we are seeing. Sometimes you are asked to stay in the status quo, push, go for it, go for the change. Be prepared to navigate economic turmoil because it's coming from now to 2030. It's like change. It's only change that's coming. Go against all odds and make a difference. If you keep doing this, you'll not be only a business leader or a founder, you will be somebody who is making change in the world. Good. There is a formula for business breakthrough. What you need to do when things are tough, get unstuck first. Stop working harder, work smarter. Take your own power back. And everything happening in the world is trying to take our power from us. Everything that's leading to the negative, switch it off. TV first. Mindset before strategy. It's really 99% mindset, 1% strategy. Shift to the inside. That's where the answers are. Be prolific, not perfect. Then you will go faster. And you need strong leadership, resilient leadership in your organization. You need an aligned management team. If people are not on the same page with you, change management team. Push for the profitability of your business. Build a future-proof strategy. Take now your strategy to the table. Look at it. The times are changing outside. What does it mean? What does it mean for your business model and earning model? Change it now and start moving. Don't wait until it's too late. Build a scalable business. Take the time to make it also a steady business. If you are getting more clients that you still can manage. Develop your talent pool inside your company. Cherish your talents, love them, keep them in the business. And maximize the use of digitization. You don't have a choice. If you don't do it, the competitor does it and he becomes cheaper. So this is really how to break through with your business. The next part is, I've been studying turning around businesses in times of change for 24 years. And I wrote a book together with Rethink Press. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity also to work with Lucy and her team. And I had the opportunity to just sit for 6 weeks and do nothing than writing my book and reflecting on what I was doing and why it's successful. And in my book, I explain a formula for turning around businesses amidst of a changing world and how to do that in 12 months. It's called the Sustainable Turnaround, Fix, Reset, and Accelerate Your Business in 12 months. And Michaela shared already the link of the book, so please have a look at it. What I hear often within businesses, yeah, change is messy, it's too difficult. No, you can create a structured process for driving change and keeping everybody in the know. Your founders, your funders, your employees, and aligning with your management team. So in this process, you can find it in the book. It's described how to do that. Have a look at it and enjoy it. It can be made less difficult. And the last part, your employees. You need a hero army. So if I would look at employees, usually within a business where we are doing a turnaround or transformation or supporting clients to do that, is that the usual is 20% of the people are doing the work of the whole business. We call them the dynamos. They drive stuff. And the other ones are floating. So you need to find the 20% and engage them in becoming your hero army. You need to train them. So identify them, train them, and they will get you there smarter, faster, and cheaper. So what you usually do is that we train them every 2 weeks. We give them the training that's essential during 6 months, the things that they need to know to become transformational leaders. And we keep injecting information in that team with trends, how to pitch, how to brand, how to sell, how to fund, how to digitize, how to partner with others. And what you create then are really game changers. And if you build them, keep them, give them opportunities, and that it will grow and they will make your business successful. We arrived to the end of the presentation. I'm going just to give you a summary of what I've been telling. Business success means understanding the external events and trends, focusing on good leadership, on your mindset and on your purpose, on staying profitable and adjusting your business model and earning model quickly, on building your team, your hero army, and leveraging tech to create a successful business. If you want more updates, I'll be sharing what's happening in tech, on mindset stuff, on have a look to my LinkedIn, follow, and also have a look to our website. There are lovely things happening to get also insights that you need. So I'm ready. Q&A session if you want, Lucy.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Madiha. That was absolutely fascinating. So a few comments that were made during your presentation. So Paula particularly said it's fabulous information, and she's very pleased that you talked about the mindset and about the higher awareness, which is part of the mindset. So Paula, if you've got any questions, do put them in the comments. Yes, Michaela was also sharing how much she was enjoying it. So anybody else who's got questions or comments for Madiha, do put them in the comments and I will read them out for her. That was absolutely fascinating. I wanted to ask you, Madiha, you say start up a business now. What sorts of business do you think that women particularly, but anybody, what are the right places to be starting up businesses at the moment? Where are the winning market areas?
So I would just, everything that's happening and changing, there is an opportunity there. For instance, a client that's telling me yesterday about, oh, I hire people via Upwork. The existing businesses are doing recruiting. That model is going to break because I used also to use recruiters for getting talent for my clients. And then when I compared them with the people coming from Upwork, I thought, oh my God, it's like 10 times more expensive. So that's one opportunity to start with. The other one is if you have a marketing agency or don't have a marketing agency and you want to start one now, start hiring people who are very good with generative AI and people who are doing, for instance, generating basically pictures with Midjourney, who can basically give the commands to the system to generate that. That's a business.
Right. So think very much about sort of areas of business where you can make use of AI to be cheaper and quicker than existing scenarios.
Absolutely. And everywhere where there are shifts towards other markets, people don't want to do business with another market, but they don't trust it yet. If you can start a collaboration with, for instance, somebody in India, and that person in India will start helping you source the right individuals to work with you. Boom, that's an opportunity.
Right, right. So Daphne DeLuce, who's here, she says, women in business, what are our strengths in this new world?
Yeah, I would say what I see as a difference when I work with gentlemen, and usually that's the case with a management team full of men and there is a woman, we have an intuition, which is really, really strong. We are carers in general. If we don't lose our feminine side, we care about employees, and we are very much into developing them and growing them. And what happens is that you become a servant leader within the business. Your clients love you. Your employees will stick with you, and they will go through the fire for you. So that's the commitment that you get from people when you use your heart as a female and your caring side. So that's a
really lovely answer. Does that answer your question, Daphne? That's brilliant. Michaela says, such a great question. Zareen says, thank you so much, Madiha. What a fascinating presentation.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. So, Madiha, can we go back to CDBCs? Can you just explain those in a bit more detail?
Yes. So what happened some time ago is that crypto was introduced. And crypto was taking a very big bite from central banks, because they said, okay, no, we don't want to use normal cash and normal money. We're creating our own currency, a digital currency, and we can track it where it is in the system. And people who were like what we call unbanked, who were not used to use able to use a bank account, or living in Africa where they don't have, in some countries, that facility, or it's too expensive, it's only for the rich and the wealthy to have a bank account, they started becoming banked. And what happened is that a very big part, 25%, and was growing 30% of the money supply was moving towards a digital currency, towards crypto. So the central banks started worrying, because they earn money on money. And it's like interest and deposits, etc. And it's being gone. So if they would wait, the whole money will go and it will go into crypto. So the decision was taken some years ago, hey, we are going into the central bank digital currencies. So central banks will come up with their own digital currency, like crypto, and tell you basically, you can turn your own money now. You don't have a choice. Your money will become digital and cash will disappear. Once you do that, all the transactions will be logged, but there will be also intelligence going into the currency. So there will be, for instance, what are you able to spend your money on? So they will add also restrictions. And there are a lot of people who are really scared about that. For instance, if I would travel 3 times a year, am I allowed to buy a ticket? No, maybe you will not be allowed to buy a ticket. So it becomes a little bit tricky with privacy rules, with on what are you spending money. And yeah, I find it fascinating. I'm very objective in this. I'm just seeing the trends happening and I'm thinking, both parts are right, which is interesting. But I think for consumers, they need to be really aware that this is a very big tangent or change, and also aware that if the central digital bank currencies will start being introduced, cash will be worthless. And that's a big thing. So if people have like cash in their closet and you go to CDBCs, your money will become worthless. You can just burn it.
That's yes. I mean, Michaela says, I'm seeing much resistance against CBDCs. Are they really inevitable? And are we really on our way to a cashless society?
So what I see is that at the beginning, there was like are we going through CBDCs or not? But I think if you would just Google CBDCs, central banks, there are already 60 countries and central banks who are going towards that. The Fed has created already like a Fed bank for digital money, and they are moving towards it as a high speed. Europe is planning it for next year. India has already done it. China is testing it. Africa, a lot of countries in Africa are going also for the CBDCs. So if you want as a country to keep doing transactions globally, you can do something different now, because the world is so interconnected. Yeah, and you have for sure a choice, crypto or CBDCs. That's the choice that you still have. But the central banks and the IMF are saying, well, it's not secure because it's not regulated. And the other part is saying, well, it's over-regulated. So it's always a choice of the consumer. And that's why the choices are endless. What you need to do is go to your higher awareness and take decisions from there. Because with a normal brains, you cannot do it.
Okay, so yes, apparently, Michaela says the British government have already been recruiting for heads of CBDC. So sounds like we're all going there sooner or later.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So does anybody have, oh yes, Paula says, does Madiha, do you have any feelings about universal basic income? Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, said they're researching this and we'll get the reports in January 2024. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so if you would project basically what's happening, and you look at what happened with the lockdowns, recession, what happened to small, medium sized businesses, you would see that a lot of businesses didn't survive in 2022, 23. So the number of companies collapsing in small and medium enterprise is big. So that took a lot of jobs. And now if you would introduce from now to 2030 AI and generative AI, and there will be more coming. For instance, if you look, I posted a lot of this stuff also on my LinkedIn. Agriculture is now for a large part being done with AI. So they can, there is a machine, a robot with artificial intelligence in it. It looks to the crop, it knows it's ready, and it plucks it, and then puts it on a on a thing that moves it. So the whole let's say the handling that was done by humans is gone. Amazon has, for instance, the whole warehouse is now being managed with robots. The human part is gone.
Yeah.
What does it mean? It means that people will not have a job. And the expectation of the World Economic Forum was 50% of the jobs will be lost because of AI and the fourth industrial revolution. So everything that's happening in industries. So I would say, yeah, what's the alternative? So there were discussions before about from the IMF, discussing with large companies that they will need to be paying taxes on robots because they move a human being and they put a robot. That robot is doing economic activity, meaning it needs to pay taxes. Otherwise, the governments will not have enough money. So the taxation will happen on robotization. The money will go to the state. A lot of people don't have a job. Basic income will come in. So I'm, let's say, 80% sure that that's where we're heading.
So you think that it will be universal basic income or unemployment, as it is now, universal credit in this country, it's called?
I think that it will be named as it could be supportive of the of the execution of that strategy. Whether you call it universal or not universal, I think that every country will need to do something. And you see it, as I discussed in what IMF is saying in their economic outlook. Have a second, but bear with me for a second. So they are already announcing it. And I think that's very smart of Paula to see that and say, hey, that's basic income. That's true. So yeah, that's also the expectation. And there's not there is no other choice than that, because otherwise you will have people who can't feed themselves. So these are the strengthened safety nets for people at risk. They don't have a job.
No, if you can't earn money, there has to be another way of living. 100%.
So I would say, is it evil? I don't know, but it will be bare necessity.
Yeah.
But I think if you put all these things that are happening and then add some more to them, you end up with a lot of people being marginalized or not having something. So yeah, you need safety nets.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it's interesting that, I mean, for instance, I mean, Keynes thought that the way things were going back, you know, in the last century, that we'd all end up with much shorter working weeks and lots of holiday, and that never happened. It just work changed, and people are still doing it. It's just in a different sort of in different areas, and in fact, probably got worse. So maybe, you know, maybe do you think it's possible that actually work will just turn into different things?
Yeah, and I think that's and I think it's I heard it, I think, from Daniel Pritchley. He was talking about component labor. What basically happened is that people were turned into component labor, and there will be always an opportunity for big businesses to turn people into component labor. But what you need to do is become entrepreneurial, step out of the system, and look to what can you do to earn your money. Yeah, that's essential, because otherwise you will be somewhere sitting behind your desk on Upwork. Upwork will be taking a picture of you every hour and lock in what you are typing and keying and saying how many hours you spend on working on something. There
definitely seems to be what you seem to be saying is that in all sorts of areas there seems to be much more opportunity for oversight and control, the kind of, you know, more of a big brother scenario than we have even now.
Yeah, but I think it's also like it's entrepreneurship going mad.
Right.
So the person who created Upwork, he thought, oh, how can I control that that somebody in Bangladesh is working on a project and he's really working on the project and saying how many hours spent. Oh, I will make a picture of him every hour and I will follow how much typing he is doing and I will put that in the system.
Yeah.
Is this like bad intention? No, it's entrepreneurship going mad. So I would say, yeah, losing the sight of what is human or not, that happens. But I think step back and take your destiny in your hands and become an entrepreneur, because that are free spirits that can really, bring opportunities to life. That's
No, that's wonderful. So yes, Paula said thank you for said the robot tax is interesting. So good to know your views, as it's a key area of focus for my project. So and Paula's just said brilliant insights. These are amazing times. I love your perspective. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And Daphne said earlier, concentrate on personal brands. That's going to be very important too. Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because if you don't want to become component labor, basically, and you have the given expertise, then you need to put yourself out there and become an expert. So you need to publish more. You need to have a voice, and it's and I think it's the next step in personal development for the experts that are looking maybe to this a session today, is that be a change maker, go for something with an intention and from purpose, and go make the world better. So that's why we are here, not for becoming a component labor in a factory somewhere or behind a computer.
Well, that's a wonderful place to end. That's a brilliant. You've said so many kind of quotable phrases today, That's absolutely, that's wonderful. But that's a great place to end. Obviously, I'm delighted that you say you think people should publish more, because but I do think that genuinely think that writing your book is, as you say, a piece of amazing self-development and personal brand development. So I'm very much with you there, Madiha.
100% with you. Yes.
So Madiha Mouchtak, thank you so much for your insights and knowledge today. It's been absolutely amazing, and it's been wonderful having everybody here. Thank you for all your questions, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Have an amazing day, and thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.